Prepare for adventure. Welcome to Scotty Huggins Unsupervised, the podcast where host Scotty Huggins dives deep into captivating conversations with extraordinary individuals who dare to push the limits. Whether it's racing motorcycles or exploring the unknown, Scott's boundless curiosity takes center stage. Let the unsupervised journey begin.
On this episode of Scotty Huggins Unsupervised, we talk to Brad and Jamie Luff from Luff Motorsports about their Australian Rally Championship campaign. We talk about the thrills and spills of rally and many other things racing. So come on, let's go. Brad and Jamie Luff, welcome.
How are we?
Good, good.
It's the way.
Long time no see.
It has been a while, hasn't
Yeah, it
it?
has. When was the last time we saw each other? Probably Fink,
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it would have been, I reckon.
Yeah, well, I had a broken shoulder.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
And I broke myself before it. So we had a good run that
I
year.
was fine that year.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? A little birdie told me you guys might be doing Fink again.
Yeah, I'm now not.
You're definitely not?
Yeah, I've changed plans this year, but
'Cause
Brad's definitely doing it.
After Fink, what was it, 22? Must have been 22, Fink. You said, I'm never doing that ever again. You were done. You were just like, there's no fucking chance you're going to get me to do that again.
That was the last time I sat on a motorbike, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you guys have been racing since you were kids. Like when we grew up together, racing dirt bikes, you know. So when did you guys start riding?
Well, he didn't ride.
Oh, you never rode?
Never.
Really?
He did. He actually
for fun, yeah.
he did a race one day. I stitched him up and he stopped to ask what the last lap board said. So that was a pretty good.
I was like 6. So.
Yeah, it was very young.
Yeah,
So
right.
I started racing, I think, four or five.
Yeah, because so I thought we both used to race together, but I know your mum was always part of the clubs and the organisation and the organising and stuff like that, which was
Yeah,
that's
sure.
how we
Mum
used
did a heap of stuff.
yeah,
got to that
always
Canberra
just do
club and-
volunteer work.
Yeah, and then I raced till I was about like 16, and then sort of got work and cars and stuff. Started to found a job and
Girls.
yeah, beer,
That's it, wrong
girls,
me.
yeah, exactly.
Girls and drinking beer.
And then I sort of then obviously didn't have mum and dad's backing with everything, because obviously they helped us a lot when we were growing up and stuff like that, and still do now. But it sort of stopped for a couple of years, and then I bought a bike again when I was probably like 18, 19, and I've still kicked about on a bike here and there.
I think a lot of people have that same story. I mean, I did the exact same thing. Like I was still riding, but I probably took 5 years off racing because it's just you don't realise how much budget you need for it. And when you're on apprentice wages, you just can't afford it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
And for some reason, went to cars, which the budget is completely out of
way
control.
way bigger. You know what I mean? I was thinking about this today. And I'm still can't convince myself to go to a car, even though I probably should, considering my advanced age on a motorbike. But is a car as fun as a bike?
I think so. I've always grown up on 4 wheels, and Brad's always been 2 wheels. So we've come from different bits, but
And you like cars better?
yeah.
Yeah.
I still enjoy riding bikes. I just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I plan to race Fink this year.
Yeah.
With Brad and actually try a bit hard and train for it. But
Yeah.
we're going to do a rally in New Zealand now, so I'm spending my budget there.
Cool. So what are you going to do in New Zealand?
It's a Otago rally. So pretty cool rally, bucket list stuff. And I got
cool.
a phone call about 2 weeks ago asking if I want to do it in an old Escort, and
Sick.
can't turn that down. So
Yeah, that'd be good. So you got an invite for it then?
Yeah, it's sort of like a leased car, so you pay to be there. But
Yeah.
someone else fell through. And
Yeah,
a friend
cool.
of ours rang up, said, "Do we want to take the seat?" And
That'd be cool.
can't turn
Are you
that
both
down.
going to go over?
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
I'll sit in the silly seat again. So,
Yeah. Because you navigate all the time, don't you?
yeah, for
So
sure.
you don't ever fight over who drives? Or you-
That's changed a bit lately. So that year you actually spoke just about when I hurt myself at Fink. So I busted my arm at Fink.
Yep.
I bought a rally car on the way home because I was sick of falling off motorbikes. So
That happens.
that was one of those things. I just bought a bit like an old crapper for fun. And then we sort of try and work it out that like there's a way he drives and the level he's at is nothing like me. So
Yeah.
when he's in the car driving, I'll be his navigator because we sort of work well as a team together in the Yaris in the Australian Rally Championship sort of stuff. And then, I just do a little fun ones here, there and whatever. And then I've sort of upped myself last year. I went and bought a Subaru, which is sort of an equivalent car to like a state level car, we sort of call it, I guess.
Yep.
And now I've done a bit in that. So this year's going to be a bit different. We're sort of just going to slow down, do a few random things, but it's sort of, we tried to slow down, but it feels like we're still busy every weekend for the rest of the year. So.
Yeah, tell me about it.
But we'll do a bit. We're going to do a couple of them. where I'll nab for him, he'll nab for me. He's actually going to drive one of my cars.
Yeah, okay.
So when he scratches that, then I get to drive the Yaris. So.
Is that the deal, is it?
Yeah.
He's not allowed to drive the Yaris until he does one rally without leaving the road.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Yeah, I don't know
like
the greatest staying on the road. Seem to leave the road quite often. So
Do you find it to be hard to get what I would say hard to get your eye in a car compared to from a bike? You know,
it's a weird one. I sort of feel that I don't know, this in a car's weird. I think being from the motocross and the motorbike background, you can see so much further ahead of you. Like you're looking at stuff that you don't look like if you're just a normal driver type thing. I feel like just being on a motorbike, being in the bush and stuff makes you like, I go, oh yeah, okay, I can put the car in there and I'm cutting corners and doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing. But it's just I'm looking so much further ahead.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I found it honestly pretty easy to hop in. But it's then when you get to that next level and want to start going so fast, that's when shit gets hard. Like when he's driving, I'm sitting there going, holy fuck, this is wild. So,
And do you get car sick? Because you must be looking at your road book pretty much the whole time, hey?
yeah, for sure. So I did get sick once. It was just, I think we hopped in a new car. He was actually in a Subaru, so I was navigating a Subaru. And I think it was a bit of what I had for breakfast the night before come up.
And he's filled my door pocket full of spew and wouldn't clean it up.
But then Jamie's got more crook than me, actually. So we've done a couple of night rallies a few years ago in an old VL Commodore just for a bit of fun.
Yep.
And yeah, the nighttime stuff, looking up and down, I think that's what really
It
got
ruined
him.
me, yeah.
Right.
Same stage twice, and both times 5Ks from the end, I spewed everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
While you're driving?
Yeah, I was navigating.
Oh, you were navigating.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, right. So you were driving, you were
That was the
navigating.
funniest thing ever. I'm trying to drive and focus and not laugh, and he's
I'm trying to do it. I'm like so close, keep going. I'm holding his spews, white spewing out the window. He's into laugh.
Through the window net.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best. That's so good.
But yeah, the car sickness thing has always been a thing, like people do. But it's one of those things, if you do get car sick, you can't be a navigator. Like,
Yeah.
physically just can't.
You don't get used to it?
I don't know.
Your body sort of gets used to it?
I'm just used to it now. Like, it's just one of those things I think that you realise that, okay, I'm hopping in this car. Being in the Yaris, so that car is just violent. No one understands, well, the boys that have one and would really, like, hopped in one before, it's just physically shakes you up, like, crazy.
I was watching some stuff there from the Australian Rally Championship today, and you were saying that you had some vibration at high speed, and you're like, that's pretty normal though. This thing vibrates a fair bit anyway. And I was like, okay. So do only the Yaris are only the Yaris like that, or is all high level rally cars like really aggressive like that?
All of them are pretty aggressive, but the Yaris is a bit different because it's a 3-cylinder.
Oh,
It's a bit unbalanced, and we pull the balance shafts out of it, so everything just vibrates quite. Pretty standard for a race car. And
are they basically solid mounted, the engine?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it must have a little bit of like a nolethane or something like
very,
a bush.
very small,
but
stiff.
very small, something real stiff, And so it's like a real vibrating sort of car.
Yeah, and it's so loud, like you can't drive without headphones on.
Yeah, right.
You can't, like if you're sitting next to each other, you can't hear each other talk. Just cruising on the highway.
And how many seasons have you been in the Yaris now?
We've done two
full seasons.
2 full seasons.
Yeah, right. And like I was watching today, like you're pretty close to up the top there all the time. Like, do you think you're still dialing the car in a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sort of just get in and drive type thing where, everyone we're competing against now is so good. They're full teams rocking up with, 15 people.
Yeah.
We rock up with us two, mum and dad, and a couple of mates at a piss wrecks.
Yeah.
In a case of EB.
Yeah, in a few cases of EB. But there's a lot more in the car for sure.
Yeah.
A lot more in me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's getting pretty hard now. The ARC is really competitive.
Yeah.
Lots of R5 cars, so they're like manufacturer built cars from overseas, like $500,000 cars.
I was thinking that today as well is like the likes of Bates' team and that sort of thing, are their GR racing team, the Gazoo racing team, is that a different car to what you guys have? Or do you guys have virtually the same car? It's just a lot of it's in setup. I mean, there's obviously gonna be some little tricks and stuff that they're gonna have, that they're gonna tweak things that you maybe don't know about. Yeah. Or you've got secrets that they don't know about, vice versa.
Yeah, for sure.
But is it virtually the same car, or are you trying to compete at a high level with a slightly, not quite as good of product?
Yeah, well, it's right now, like last season just gone, completely different car. So they've got a Rally 2 R5 car.
Yep.
So that's built by Toyota, imported like a World Rally 2 car. So the cars they race in the World Rally.
Yep.
Where mine's classed as an AP4 car. So it's pretty much it's a copy of it, but it's home built.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But when we built the car, we copied them. The Bates helped us heaps.
Yep.
Build the car. They pretty much did most of the work.
Yep.
And it was while they were developing the AP4 car.
Yeah. Right.
We did it, pretty much took it off their first car that they built. Then they did a lot of developing from there, changed engines, changed lots of bits and pieces, which we can do. But I thought I learned to drive that car a bit faster before we spend lots of money on it.
Yeah. Exactly. But you've been driving since how long? 16 or something, or earlier?
Honestly,
in the paddock about 3.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Of course.
In the paddock basher and stuff. That's pretty much where we learnt all the stuff. And then did a little bit of go-karting when I was about 12. But there was the same time I was riding BMXs and I was in cars and on crutches more than I was driving a car.
Yeah, that's a problem with.
Yeah.
This is why I think to myself, like, at some point in time, I've got to get into a car because you just can't keep breaking yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what as dirt bike riders that we do. We just break ourselves every 5 minutes. Like, it's just, I love it so much. And I'm sure you do too. But it's just one of those things where you're like, I've got to stop this at some point in time for longevity. Otherwise, you don't have it.
For sure.
But it's just convincing yourself that, cars can be just as fun, even though the budget's, like you said, the budget's a lot more.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
It just depends on, like, I reckon you get to a level where you just want to be better and want to go faster. Like, we could be happy. We could find we've got a couple of cheap crap rally cars that we have so much fun in, but you hop in them, you're driving the absolute ring out of them, you get to the end of it and you want to go, you're like, I want to go faster. So then there's more money. If you were just if we were content at that, but I feel like we've just got like that in us where we want to go so much faster and harder and be better and be better. So it's
that's pretty much how we got to where we were, because we started in a little shit box.
Yeah.
86, and we were having the best time ever, probably having the most fun than anyone else out there. Kept going like, let's go a bit faster. Then we bought a WRX and then built that till it could sort of go, couldn't go any faster. And then we're like,
is that one of the photos there with the old A86? Is it in here?
yeah, there was one.
Scroll up there. Go up to that photo that's up there. Is that where you're on the ground at Fink there?
That's when he broke his wrist.
Had a buster. No, that was just pre-run the track on the Tuesday up there in the last time I did it, was it 22? I'm pretty sure it was 22 or 23. Must have been 22.
Is that when you broke your hand?
Yeah. So, Jamie obviously raced it that year as well. So I was I think I was fairly prepared and ready for that year and wanted to have a good crack. And I just, did something stupid around the corner, just high-sided and mongreled myself.
Whereabouts is that? Just near Fuel Stop 1 or something, is it? Or
yeah, it would have been about probably
back, wasn't it?
Yeah, coming back. So you're closer to Alice, but you're probably about 60 k's from Alice, I'd reckon.
Yeah.
So.
I was riding. I thought I was hooking along, like I was having a fair crack pre-running, and then Brad just come around me like I was standing still. I was like, bloody smart ass, and I get around the next corner and here he's tangled up in a tree.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was and then I thought it was be fine. Like my fingers were all pretty sore, as you can imagine and stuff. And I was like, nah, it'll be right. Did the old she'll be right trick. Didn't ride for the Wednesday, Thursday. I think I had a little ride on the Friday just to see how I'd go, and I was in pain. And then race and got home and I went back to work. Actually, I just thought like it's just sore, like I'm just all fine. Then about a week and a half later, I think I went to the doctors and actually said there's something wrong in here, and then finally got it all.
And so what ended up being broken?
Oh, there was like 40-something little bones, like heaps of little bones in there.
Yeah.
And then they just put a pin or a plate or something in there.
Yeah, righto.
So, but it was one of those things that took forever. I didn't ride a bike for probably, I reckon it would have only been a year after.
Really?
I just physically could not hold on. Like the strength and the pain just wouldn't work. So, I had the shits.
Yeah, and from such a realistic a small injury.
Yeah, exactly. It was our first broken bone.
Yeah.
Raced motorbike since I was 4. That's
Really?
my first broken bone.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's good going.
Touch wood, I've had a pretty good run with the injury side of things.
Yeah.
Which
That's
scares me a bit
that
this
is,
year.
Yeah.
It all happened like in 2 years, didn't it?
Yeah,
there's a good video on there. If you find that video I put in of Brad ragdolling himself.
Go back.
If that was me, I'd be in a neck brace and probably in a wheelchair.
Still remember it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
That hurt.
you look like you're out cold there.
Yeah, I am. I remember it. I don't remember it, but I remember I remember waking up and Mum was actually there. She come there and I looked up and she's just looking at me and she's just like shaking her head and I was like, oh my God. But I walked away because I was completely fine. I wasn't completely fine, sorry, but I walked away, I went home, and then that night, it was a Sunday, that night, I remember just being like, I'm something's wrong. So I went to hospital and spent a day or two over there just checking me out and making sure.
Yeah, concussion.
Oh yeah, I think so, big time. But it was just nothing broke. It was just very, very sore.
You must have strong bones.
So I broke every bone that he should have broken. I've broken so many bones just doing stupid little shit.
Yeah.
And then he does that stuff and doesn't break a bone.
Yeah. And like you come off a bike, like you probably come off the bike there at 60, 70 Ks an hour just then. And okay, you knock yourself out, but no broken bones. Like, how does that even happen?
I get, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've been pretty lucky with those things. So,
Real lucky, yeah.
which is good.
Because I've broken heaps of bones. You know? And I don't know. I mean, you used to race a bit of enduro and stuff as well with us, did you?
Yeah, not as a junior. So that would have been about when I turned about 20, 21. I did a few like transmotos, a couple of that sort of stuff. But I was never a big enduro rider. I used to hate the trees.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is trees don't move too well. That's the problem. And you hit a few trees every now and then, and then you break bones pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So
all my crashes are usually ones just off jumps and stupid shit. So
and literally land in the dirt. And it's a somewhat controlled environment. So it's not too bad unless it's like hard packed clay.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that happens as well, and you're like, whoopsie.
Yeah.
And, hit the deck pretty hard. But
I reckon I can still feel that crash when I wake up of a morning. Where's the Voltaren?
Yeah. That's the problem. Is even though you've not broken any bones, you still start getting sore as you get older. You know what I mean? It's not not easy. So, but
we'll see what this year brings. Hopefully not that.
Are you guys doing another full season this year?
Nah. So I was planning to have a complete year off. Rallying. So the Yaris is in the naughty corner of the shed at the moment. It's because I split the head in half in Tassie at the last round.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last stage, 8 Ks to the end. Yeah, it was hit something and it just, a weak point in the head and just cracked it in half.
Really?
Still finished. We still got to the end, but so the motor's out, stripped, and
righto.
I'll have a year off just trying to do some stuff at home, just like build a house and little bits and pieces. So focus on that. But I was planning to do pretty much nothing, and then I'm doing one rally down in Midder, the VRC in Brad's VL.
Oh, yeah.
And then we go to New Zealand the weekend after.
Yeah, cool.
That's all I've penciled in.
Like you try to do it, but it just sucks you back in, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I thought that I'd be so sad. I'm real upset they're not doing it all, but it's been a pretty busy year anyway. So
another thing is this is what I was talking to Toby Hedricks about this the other day, and it's like it's a lot of pressure to be racing every week, or if on the weeks you're not racing, you're prepping, and you're working on the bike or the cars or whatever, and you're just like, if you have a year off, it's almost like a relief.
Yeah,
you just go, oh, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's good because we've not worked on the car every night, and with the Yaris, because we're probably one of the only top teams that actually work on our own cars, like they actually prep the cars after hours, go till 2 a.m. We think works in our favour because we know how to fix shit. Like the amount of times we've broken stuff out in the forest and patched shit up with a stick and a ratchet strap.
Bush mechanics go hard.
We've done some weird shit, like some sketchy shit to get us out of trouble. But so it's good to have that a year just where we can chill and don't have to worry about prepping a car till 2 a.m. every night. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. And like it's even just travelling to the races is a long way. Like you got to go to WA and stuff, and even Tassie. You know what I mean? It's a lot of travelling in between as well, especially when you're trying to run a business at the same time.
Exactly. That's the hardest. Because there's 4 of us. Because that's myself, Brad, Mum, and Dad.
Yeah, and everyone goes to the race as well.
We all go to the race, and there's 4 of us.
They won't let us go without them. They can't.
They love it.
Yeah, they love it. They love it more than us, I think, sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But a lot of it, it is like you said, the travel and the organising. We're not the most organised people. We try to be, but we'll rock up the day before the rally and not have a clue where we're going or whatnot. And some people have it mapped out for weeks and weeks. And they ask me, hey, this. I was like, I got no idea. I said, I'll work it out when we get there type thing. Yeah. Which we're always, like you said, running a business. We're both pretty full on. We do a fair bit of hobbying and stuff after hours or after work, and just, love to be on a bike and doing random shit. So it's not like we're just going home and sitting in front of.
It's usually, it's like lock in for a rally when we're sitting on the plane going to a rally.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
And I was going to say, a lot of the guys must do a lot of testing. And do you guys get in the forest and do testing much? Or how does that come about? Do you get a permit and go and do testing in the forest every now and then? Or
if they do it, we haven't done much testing in the Yaris, which a lot of teams do, which is good. Definitely should do it. Play with the car a lot and see what you can get out of it. But I haven't done much in the Yaris. I used to do a bit in the Subaru and the Sprinter, but it was a little bit.
And so what do you do? Do you just get a permit from forestry and go and do it, or
you're meant to?
You meant to? Yeah. You just get the key and lock the gate again.
But the best way to do it is you get a permit, but you have to have medics and a fire crew there.
Yeah, right.
So it's a pretty big just to organise a test day. You have to have medics, fire crew, get permits from the forest.
Yeah, right.
Forestry, and then it's a little bit involved, but
Yeah.
I know
Go find a road around Yass and hope no one comes the other way.
Yeah. Go and put a
Main
roadwork
road,
sign up.
we've done that a few bucks.
Go and put a roadwork sign up and go, sorry, road's closed.
Yeah.
You're saying before about how when Brad drives, it's just at another fucking level. Like
Jamie.
Sorry, when Jamie drives, it's just another level because you think you're driving quick. And then you get in the car with him and it still like scares the shit out of you.
For sure.
Like I was listening to, I can't remember who they were jumping in the car with. You guys might remember this, but they had a couple of F1 drivers jump in a rally car and they ran up the hill, did a stage. It was like a not far, 20K stage or something, you know. And I can't think who it was now. But anyway, one of the guys go to the car and goes, I'm not going back down the hill again. Fuck that. You guys are crazy. And he goes, rally drivers are by far better drivers than F1 drivers are. Yeah. You guys don't even know what's coming up.
Yeah.
And you just turn into the corner and just feel your way through the corner. How does that, like, I know riding in the bush, you can sort of pick where the corner goes a bit when you're riding. But in a car, you're going probably another 70, 80 Ks faster maybe. And you're trying to turn a ton of car into the corner. Yeah. Like, how do you go about reading the terrain as you're coming up to it? I mean, you obviously get a note, which is going to tell you approximately the corner is, but how do you just trust and just stay in it?
Well, in the Yaris, we only do pace-noted events. It's like ARC is all pace-noted, so we'll drive the road before the event starts, and we write our pace notes. So
you write your own notes, do you?
Yeah.
So you don't get a road book that they give you?
You can. There is, like, we do blind events
There's two types of rallies.
Yeah.
There's a blind and then there's a road book. A blind rally and then a pace noted one. So blind one, we rock up there Friday night. We go and check in, say good day. They give you a book which has got calls in it.
Yeah.
And you trust whatever the hell they've written. Doesn't have every call in it.
A kilometre of road that, like, windy road, then they'll put one corner up if it's like a T-junction or something, just so you know where to go.
Yeah.
So they're the ones that are like, they're ballsy in a way because you sort of don't at times know what you've got coming at all. But then the pace noted events, which the Yaris is just pretty much a pace noted car, we'll only do them in there. We get to drive the stage called Recce before it.
Yep.
And write down, and me and Jamie write our notes and hope to God we say the right thing and
well, you're hoping you're saying that thing. And then the other thing too is, I mean, you must feel the corner because a lot of the time you're looking down.
Yeah, for sure.
At the notes, and then you're calling the corner, and then you're going through the corner, but you don't know you're going through the corner because you're looking down.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you know when the next call's coming up, or you just call it early and just hope
we've
Jamie
got
works
bit of a sort of. It's hard to explain, but once you're in there, it sort of just works and flows, and you've got to make sure. Like I know how his brain works, he knows how mine works.
Yeah.
So I know when he needs to know the next corner. And like I know that if it's a corner that says that, say it's a 1 or a 2, that's a really sharp one.
Yeah,
work
that's
1
right.
to 6.
Yeah.
That if we're doing 180, and I tell him that there's a 1 in 50 meters, like we're dead.
Yeah, that's
I've got to
right.
make sure. You just sort of got to use your brain and work out where and know. Like I know when he's going to need to know this corner. I know when he's going to need to know the next one, sort of thing. It's just you just work together and can work it out.
I did pace notes for Brad for the first. I've never read pace notes. I've navigated. He's doing road book.
Yeah.
Like I used to only do road book events before we got the Yaris.
Yeah.
And I did a pace note event down in Victoria, like navving for Brad, and I had a nervous spew. I was shitting myself. I was like, if I say the wrong call, if I make one call wrong, he's committing to everything I say.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like it has to be a pretty symbiotic relationship you have to have.
Yeah.
Because you have to really trust the other guy you have to trust the driver to steer you through the track, and you have to trust the navigator to do the right calls. Yeah. And otherwise you're in the trees.
Yeah, exactly.
And it gets pretty, like I remember being up in Rally Queensland, it must have been last year. And there was like one of these stages, it was just like flowy crests and like it was flat. We had written down the notes. It was like flat left over crest, flat right, flat left, and then it come to a 4. And I'm just watching this road, calling, and I'm thinking, my God, I hope I'm at the right one. Because his foot's just, I can hear the car just leaving, and he just bang. And I'm like, well, I hope this one's the right one. I was like, but that's when it's like, it works so good together. When it clicks, it clicks.
Yeah.
But if you get out of rhythm, like we've actually been pretty good. Like we've been on pace notes for a couple of years now, and we haven't had anything. Like last year, I stuffed up one big time. I think I said a 3. I said a 5, not a 33.
Oh yeah.
And he picked up straight away. He's like, "Oh, that's not a 5." And I was like, "Holy
Sort of
shit!"
dragging off the road.
Would you put a tyre into the ditch sort of thing, into the culvert?
Yeah.
But you got through it, all right.
But that happens a lot because if he says a 3, I'll try and drive that 3 as fast as you possibly can drive a 3.
Yeah.
So if he says a 5, I'm coming in red hot to drive it as a 5, and then you just see the road. And I think because we've driven so many blind rallies, we still read the road.
Yes.
Where a lot of the other teams that are pace note only done pace notes, very good. They'll commit to anything they say.
Yeah.
They would have went off the road because they hear a 5, they're driving a 5, where we're looking at the road still.
Yeah, and going, that's a bit tighter than it looks.
Yeah.
Than what Brad said.
I remember that one. It just scared the shit out of me. I just looked up, and it was a left-hander, and obviously it's left-hand drive, so I'm on the right-hand side of the car navigating, and I remember just looking, and I was just like, oh my God, them trees are close. And I can just hear it, just get out of the, trying to get out. But that gets you going. Like, it's like a relationship in the car. Like, you can't just hop in, like, I wouldn't hop in with just like a random Joe Blow, because I think you need to know how they do work and how people do work together and stuff like that.
For sure.
What have you had? 2 other navigators?
I've only had one other person in the Yaris with me and do pace notes. It was just like a little fun club event, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And a good friend of mine, named Chris, and we just did it for a bit of a piss take. It was one past recce, or pissed the night before, like all bad.
Yeah.
And then I was like, couldn't commit. Just like every call he was saying, he was right, he was good, but couldn't commit to anything just because it was just
that trust isn't 100% there yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just takes time, hey? Like,
exactly.
With anything. It's like even getting in a new car or having a new bike. You get on the bike, you're like, do I trust the front wheel yet? And you start to push it into the corner a bit, and you're like, oh yeah, it holds up all right. But when you first get on it, you just don't push it too hard, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you don't know what it can and can't do, you know? And it's the same thing with, like, I assume with a navigator or a driver, you're just like, do I trust that he's going to make the right call?
For sure.
Or do I trust he's going to steer in the right time, you know? So
it's probably harder to be a navigator because there's you have to be checked in on the minute. Like if you're 2 seconds early and you hand them your check-in card, penalty. So being a navigator, I was
navigating
I was freaking out going, because I'm trying to think of this, I'm trying to get the book ready, I'm trying to work out where we are. And
there's so much to do. Is it you got to check in on the second or on the minute?
On the minute.
On the minute, yeah, okay, because that's the same as like enduro or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I always found weird? Like, we obviously race a lot of off-road rally, but it's navigational rally in a way, like long distance navigational rally. And I never thought about it, but like ARC is only, what's the longest stage? 30, 40 Ks? 20 Ks, 15 Ks?
Usually they're probably average around 18K. Yeah. In Tassie, there was a 45K, which is still, I reckon that's awesome.
That's long. That's pretty long when you, like for a rally stage, especially when you're going flat chat. You know, I mean, you do the same thing in off-road rally too. And what I was going to say as well, Brad, you were saying like normally you pre-drive the track, and then like a blind rally is different because you can't trust it. When we're doing a rally, it's all blind.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's so scary because you just need to trust that whoever the race organizer is did it in a way that there's, you're doing 180 Ks an hour on a bike and you think, I hope there's no fucking log across the track here or something like that, and you just got to trust that he made the track right. And sometimes in the middle of a rally, I think about it, and you might be 150 Ks into a stage and I'm like, I've got to trust this guy actually designed the track right. And even, I nearly hit a dead sheep one day, and I was doing probably 150 Ks an hour. And I just so happened that I changed, that you get the long grass.
Yeah.
And like 2 wheel tracks. I just so happened to change wheel tracks and went boom past a dead sheep. And I was like, oh, if I hit that, I would have cartwheeled down the road. Like I would have been out cold. And on the long stages it's really good because you're going flat out. But same thing with you guys. Like you're on like a road, you need to trust that. Well, you guys have done a pre-drive, which is good, like a recce. Yeah. So it makes it a lot easier. You can sort of think, oh, okay, it's going to be okay. And maybe there's been a car go down at 30 seconds before you guys or a minute before you guys. Do you guys take off every minute or every
2 minutes? Every 2 minutes.
Every 2 minutes, yeah, right. And so when you're doing like short stages like that, you must be like 10 tenths.
Yeah, well, you have to, Especially in the Yaris, it's so aggressive. You have to drive it aggressive. Like, if you back off one notch, it just like understeers. Like you have to be fully committed. Yeah, that's why we'll only do pace notes to it. Because road book, if you're unsure of a corner, you just can't drive it fast. Like it just pushes, it understeers. But if you come into that corner committed, brake as late as you can, most grip is when it's sideways. So you just want to be fully
And the
committed to
competition's that wild that you back off that be a little girl don't go 10 tenths for that whole 10Ks of your stage. You're 30 seconds behind.
Yeah.
And like you got that many like boys now that are just at that level. You've got to go out there and give it 120% every single kilometre of the rally. Otherwise it just goes.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many destroyed cars in ARC.
Yeah,
so many big crashes because everyone's just pushing so hard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and look, so where did you guys? Because you guys crashed last year, didn't you?
Yeah.
Where was it?
Gippsland.
In the Gippsland rally, was it? Yeah. So see if you can get that video up, Ethan, just because there's a video. Because were you guys going in a straightaway there? Or you came out of a straightaway, out of a corner onto a straightaway?
It was actually testing. So
right.
At
Scroll
testing,
down.
the event hadn't even started.
So that's when it's on the side. Yeah, scroll down the video. There's videos down. Next one down. Hang on. Yeah.
So it was fast. We did that road probably 10 times beforehand. It was running up pretty bad. But just my mistake on my behalf.
That's the top of 6 gear, isn't it?
6 gear max. Yeah.
Oh man, like far out. And it's like, it looks like it's all been corn road there, all been logged.
Yeah, it was very lucky.
That's
stumps everywhere. We missed every single one. Pushed it back on its wheels, pushed out a dent, then we kept testing. It was fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And did
Just
the whole,
looked like
whole
a golf ball.
Yeah, right.
And we did the whole weekend, raced the whole weekend, had an awesome rally.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just the car just looked.
I can remember it plain as day because I remember we were off the road and I just watched arms going one way.
Just swapping.
And I was like, oh, he saved. And all of a sudden I hear him go, hold on. And I just feel like tipping.
It's stalled too. Like I was just, I watch it now and go, there's so many different things I could do, but in the heat of the moment.
No, you can't. In the heat of the moment, you don't know what's going on. And like, the car could have got pulled in a little bit too as you're coming off the road, and then once you've done do that, then you're into the dirt, into the stumps and stuff.
Well, when we
which
hit
is
the bank,
crazy.
you can see we backed off because I sort of hit the ruts and got a little bit loose.
Yeah.
We looked at the data; it was 183 kilometers an hour.
Fuck.
And it was bang, and then when it went to full lock off the road, I think it was 175 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. And so it's lucky you didn't tip it in there.
Yeah. We got pretty lucky. Everyone said it that's seen the video, they just go, holy, like if that grabbed that very first kick, it would have just rolled for 100 metres.
We'd still be rolling now.
Yeah. And you'd have a destroyed car too. Fully destroyed.
So that's when we got it back, and then lucky my navigator's a good panel beater. So we got stitched up.
Are they actual panels or are you using carbon fibre?
Nah, the cars, so the front, the bonnet guards are fiberglass, and then the rear quarters are still the original Yaris quarter.
Right.
Steel,
It's got
just
fiberglass
all
flares
chopped,
on it,
fiberglass.
And the roof's obviously carbon fibre or something, is it?
Yeah, it's like sort of.
Some sort of composite.
It's a factory roof on it.
Oh, really?
That's how they come, the actual GR Yarises. So
Yeah, right.
That was a road car, so that started its life as a road car.
Yeah, right. And so, because the GR Yaris is apparently mad. It's a mad car. What are they like on as a street car? They're pretty touched up, are they? In general, obviously they're not going to be a rally car, but
no, they're a pretty cool
awesome,
thing. Yeah,
I took one to Eastern Creek for a track night one time.
Yeah,
and it was awesome. Just stock standard car, put a set of tyres on it.
Yeah,
and I reckon the most fun I've ever had. It was so cool.
And just real zippy.
Yeah, real zippy. Straights pretty slow. Like I remember those Mustangs and stuff, and they just kill you on the straight.
Yeah, of course.
And
yeah.
As soon as you get to the corners and those tight bits, it would just
awesome. Goes around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. The because what's the power they make? They're like 300 horsepower, are they? 300 kilowatts.
The Yaris, because they're limited, we got a real small restrictor on the turbo. You have to run a restrictor.
Your one does, yeah. So what do they got? Like 30 millimeter air intake?
32 and 34 is the limit, but being mine an AP4 car, I'm on that at 34.
Yeah, righto.
So we put one on there. We went from a 32 to the 34, hoping we get big power because it's like 170 kilowatts. It's not a powerhouse.
Yeah.
But it did.
Which isn't that much, is it? Like you'd think you'd be able to get more out of them, but I mean they're only a 3-cylinder, I guess. But
exactly.
They're pretty highly strung. Like, are you guys running like crazy boost and stuff? Like, what does it have? 50 pound of boost?
No, it only runs about like 25. Like it's not
really
crazy. Yeah. So it's all nothing insane. It's got like a crazy anti-lag setup and all that.
Yeah.
But it's honestly not. It's really just the braking, the suspension, and the turning of the thing is where your time is.
I always found anti-lag to be such a fascinating thing because do you guys have different modes on the throttle? Is that how yours works? So
mine's pretty much got one mode. All the other ones do. They got different settings and shit, but mine's just got road mode, stage mode.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Go fast, go slow mode.
Yeah. Because you don't want to have anti-lag when you're doing transports between stages.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be a bit wild. But so in between stages, do you guys have is there a spark plug in the intake that runs a coil that burns the exhaust gas to keep the boost on? How's that work?
A lot of cars, they do like fresh air intake. This one in the AP4 rules you can't. So like when you're off the throttle, there's a pipe that goes from the intake manifold to the turbo pretty much. It's spooled. But AP4, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
In the rule book, you're not allowed to do it. So it's got just like it just pumps fuel into the cylinder. So you're off the throttle, the injectors are still pouring fuel into the cylinders, and then it's just pumping fuel into the exhaust manifold, exploding.
Wouldn't that be trying to drive the car forward all the time?
Yeah, it should,
that seems dangerous.
Yeah.
That seems like a bad idea.
It pushes hard, but the brakes are so good on them that it.
Yeah, right.
That's what you mean. So you got to drive it angry because you can't just drive it slow in stage mode. It just doesn't work. You've got to legit treat it like shit and go as hard as you can.
And it loves it.
Yeah.
The fastest I've ever driven is when I've got the shits. If the car's done something, I have the shits. You go out there and I don't care about it. That's when you get the best.
You're not trying to nurse it a little bit.
Exactly.
That's so good. Yeah, no, I always found anti-lag to be an interesting way to set things up because, especially in a street car, I mean, you'd know, you get blokes with VLs or LSs with these huge fucking turbos on them and they sit there and go, boo, and then all of a sudden they're and they go and you're like, why are all these guys running like an anti-lag system? Because
for sure.
It's just like you can make power so much further down the RPM range, you know what I mean? It's way better. Yeah. So, but I always found that to be interesting. But I would have thought you guys would have more power. But I guess that they're restricting you guys more and more for safety purposes. Is that what it is?
I was trying to make it a level playing field. So if you have like a Skoda, like they've got 32, but they got 4 cylinders, like bits and pieces. So it all evens itself out. Our car's a little bit, I think it made 178 kilowatts on road tyres on a dyno.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah. Which is like on the rally tyres, obviously drain a lot of power.
Are they quite a bit bigger than a regular tyre?
Heavy and soft.
Heavy in the sidewall?
Yeah.
Yeah. And because do you guys get punches a fair bit or not really?
Yeah, fair bit.
Yeah.
Not too much. If you go off the road, obviously, but if you're on the road and you really don't get them, it's
usually driver error. I've had a few.
Yeah.
Do you spend a lot of time in the sticks?
Somehow we go off the road. If it was me, we'd be dead.
Yeah.
He'll go off the road and there'll be nothing there.
Yeah, right.
I've just got the luck, right? It's got to run out soon because, I remember we did one the first time he navigated for me on pace notes. So last year down in somewhere in Victoria, Academus, and I was in my Subaru and we were going way too fast into this corner. And I knew it to come around and I just legit, it would have been the only 50 metres of the forest that didn't have a massive gum tree. And we just come back onto the road and Jamie was just like, how?
How did you do that?
I don't know how that happened.
There's only patch there was trees and you just slid into that.
Oh, wow. That's lucky. Yeah. I watched, I can't remember who it was now, today. I was watching today and the boys, like, they come into a corner and it was must have been like a 3, and they just braked and they must have locked up and they went straight off the road and they went in between like 3 big trees and just landed in the sticks. And I was like, oh, it must have been in South Australia.
Was it the ARC?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably Eddie. Remember Eddie on the power stage? I don't know where they are. Yeah, I know.
But they like skidded and then off the like sort of like the road sort of was built up a bit, went off the road and then just in between these 3 massive trees. I was like, how'd they not destroy the car just that? Like, how'd that happen?
So lucky, yeah.
It can end bad and it can end really good. You can get out.
He's probably smart easily. Where he did because he obviously just didn't try to be a hero. And
just pointed it and that's what I wonder too. Like, it must be the same. Like in a car, where you look is where you go. So if you get to a point where there's an open patch and you just like, there, you're like, oh, there we go, and just point it there. You know what I mean? So
I'd rather not be in that situation, but when you do have to do
it, yeah. So what year model Rexy you got?
It's a 2010. I got a little hatchback thing. Yeah. So
are they like to run a rally car of that status? Is that quite an expensive endeavour as well?
Not. It is, but it's how fast you want to go. That's got to the point where I bought the car out of Well, Jamie had a Subaru. We'd run a Subaru before the Yaris, and it was a good thing. And then this car is pretty much a brand new standard Subaru.
Yeah.
With the cage and stuff. And it was a tarmac car. And then, we just swapped it out to gravel. But then that added up. You need to change the brakes, the wheels, the tyres, to put the restrictor in it, like Jamie said. I've got to still run a restrictor. So that shit added up.
Yeah.
And then I get to the point where I'm driving it not too bad. So then I want to go to sequential gearbox. I want to change this. So there's you start throwing your money at it.
Sequential gearbox is expensive.
Yeah. And it gets to the point where you've got a sick car. Then it's also worth a lot of money. And you've got to then drive it really, really fast because otherwise you look like an idiot. So,
yeah.
But it's a cool thing. It's just it's a very – it probably shouldn't have been rallied. It was too good. It was only – I think I bought it with 6,000 Ks on it from brand new.
Oh, really?
The car is mint.
Nice, yeah.
Was mint, and I've sort of done – I've done 6 bumper bars. I've only done 5 rallies. So, but
it's a good car. And Brad's driving it unreal. So
right.
It's probably getting to its limit of how fast it can go.
Yeah.
As like Brad was saying, you just got to now spend more money and time getting the car ready so you can get up the next level.
Yeah.
And go faster again.
Yeah. We're going to get to a stage where we've got two
Yaris's. I think Mum and Dad will kill us if we think about doing that. I've never driven it, so I've never actually driven the Yaris. I can't reach the pedals. Jamie's Larry Long dog.
You're a lot taller,
Yeah, so
is the seat fixed? A fixed seat? Yeah. And I notice all the time that these days too, they've got all this extra foam padding and stuff that I never used to see that, even a few years ago. And now, is that all for rollover protection and stuff like that?
Just impact protection. So I got between my seat, beside my head.
Yeah,
it's pretty much just foam the whole way through. So
if
you were to hit a tree side on, which Harry Bates did in a rally a few years ago, Coffs Harbour, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
and I just committed to a corner, slid off the road, and he hit a tree side on his side too. All the foam there, he was fine.
Yeah,
but the Navigator hit the other way, and he had a concussion. Was in hospital for a few days. He was fine, but just smacked his head pretty hard.
Yeah, right.
So that's more so why they do it, just to stop the side impact.
Yeah. Did you guys see this year at Dakar, Toby Price and Sam Sunderland? Something happened to Sam where I don't know if he hit his head or they went over a big jump or something like that, and he ended up with a concussion.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he still couldn't drive, and they clashed heads in the cab somehow.
Yeah, right.
How the hell does that even happen? I don't know how that happens.
I seen a post about it. I didn't look into it or anything, but
I don't know how that even happens. Yeah. But
the worst thing I noticed is a similar sort of thing. Obviously, the driver, when you're driving, if you see a bump come up or something that you're in trouble with, you can sort of it's like a motorbike. You're in trouble, you sort of clench and you get ready. Yeah. When you're navigating, you're not like that. So if Jamie, if he's driving and say I'm navigating or vice versa, if the driver sees something bad or there's a big rock and you hit it, the driver's sort of ready. Where the nav, we hit a big dip, you're not ready. Your neck goes down, or you're not really ready. I make some funny noises in there because when you really hit something hard, the drivers usually can tell what's coming.
Yeah.
Where the nav, you're not even looking at the road usually. It's just sort of up and down, and you hit something hard. Ugh. And I've been winded in there a fair few times.
Yeah. It literally winds you.
Yeah,
hey?
For sure, big time.
Really?
Yeah.
I was in my old Subaru. We hit top of 6 again, just flat out.
Yeah.
And there was just this little divot in the road, and I couldn't see it into it. Then I seen it last second, and obviously braced. And Brad just got ragdolled, and he was winted it busted him hard.
Yeah, right.
You're just not ready. You're just not prepared for anything. You're sitting there because they're pretty calm. Once you're in there, you're in there.
Yeah.
And you just hit this bum, and, and it just really. Jamie, you're right.
Made a funny noise.
You're right. I'm good. Trying, and you can't. As soon as you start, you can't.
You got to.
You got to keep going. It's not you can start having a little party.
Just have a break. Just have a break.
Pull over for a second.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Yeah.
Which that's a thing that we try and obviously we are not full serious. So you get into places and we have a yarn, or we shouldn't be. That's the problem where we're not taking it to that full seriousness level because we're there to have a bit of fun as well. So we'll talk about something or say something stupid, and we had to have our intercom so obviously they can hear us.
Yeah.
And we just be careful what we say because sometimes we get a bit carried away of just talking shit, and you got to be really careful now because by the time you finish an event or even a stage, they're in there grabbing your SD card out, so you don't have time to do anything. So that's why everything's just so watched, and which is
And if you make a mistake, they'll try to get you while you're your raw emotion. So if you have a bad stage, you roll something, there'll be cameras there. They don't want to interview you tomorrow. They want to talk to you now.
That's right. While you're fuming about it. Which is kind of good.
Yeah, it's
like,
good, yeah.
It's good that there's quite a lot of good coverage of any motorsport event, but especially rally, because rally's so hard, and rally in general, or anything off-road that's sort of more remote, it's hard to really get good footage, and it's hard to... It's an excellent sport to watch, and it's really entertaining. But there's a lot of effort to get the film crew in there. Yeah. To I was going to say before as well. It's a lot of good technology now with drones. Like the drones can fly over and follow the cars at $1.60. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which is really cool. And I think soon we'll see more and more high-speed drones doing more of that sort of filming and stuff like that, which would be really cool. And you can actually follow rallies and stuff like that a lot better, rather than having to pay for a whole helicopter to chase you down the road. You know what I mean? Which a helicopter's what, $360 an hour or something, or more. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a lot better. I think it's $360 worth of fuel every hour in a helicopter. Plus you got to pay the pilot. Yeah, that's insane. It's crazy, you know what I mean? And then you have a camera guy in there as well. Like it's a lot of equipment just to film a rally. Or you can have a drone that runs on batteries,
one person.
And that's right. They put their VR headset on or whatever, and they, I'm sure that there's like heaps of demand for drone pilots now, especially military purposes, but you get it in like some sort of televised system where you can have a headset and just cruise along. It'd be sick, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they're using that already in the ARC. Like there's lots of drones.
Yeah, cool.
Everywhere.
Yeah, sick. So
obviously there's trees and shit everywhere too, so it's so hard. You get a camera out there, you get one corner.
That's what I mean.
You can't see the next corner, so the drones are just following you everywhere.
Yeah, cool.
Which is cool,
awesome. Yeah. How long are the transports usually? Because that's one of the things you never see, and this is one of the things I always think about too, even in Dakar or even our rallies. Like we're doing 300-400 Ks of transport per day. Then we're doing another 300-400 Ks of stage per day. I mean, your stages aren't as long as that, but the transports are quite long, are they? Like transport sections? And then
they vary. Depends where you are. Like some rallies.
We did Adelaide in 23, and that was 600 kilometres of transport for the weekend.
Oh, for the weekend, yeah, right.
Which was torture, because sitting in that car, like I said, it's so violent and it's so like just loud.
I doze off every now and then. Like it makes you sick. Like that in the car, it's like a weekend of hell. Not hell, but like just on your body. You've got to be careful. Yeah. It really does ruin you. You get home after it and you're just like, I am done. Yeah, it shakes you up, and just the noise, the vibration, the heat. Like it's never cold in there.
Yeah, what's the temperature? Is it? It's like 70 degrees in the cab or something?
Hot, yeah. I've never measured it, but it gets like ridiculous.
Real hot.
It's just tin floor, and the exhaust is red. Like one blip of the throttle on anti-lag, the exhaust is glowing red.
Yeah, right.
It's right there on the floor.
And you've got to be both so focused, and you've got like, you hop in the car at 7 o'clock in the morning, got to drive 100 Ks to a stage. Yeah. Like the last thing you're ready for is to sit there and read notes and do 200 through the forest. Like you've got to be just so ready for that. And that's what takes it out of you. Like it's their big weekends.
Yeah, for sure.
And like by the time we have a couple of days off work to usually fly there, or if we can drive, whatever. Yeah. It's just one of those things that it's a big thing to get there, get home with everyone that helps us out and stuff. Yeah, you're pretty much ruined.
Yeah. But, and then you got to do it all again in a few months, a few weeks time.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And we try and do other silly things the next coming weekends as well.
I know, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. I think blokes like us that are competitive like that, we're always looking to do something, whatever it is, you know what I mean? There's always something we're doing, you know
100%.
I mean? Like, let's go for a ride, let's do this, let's do that, whatever. Oh, I might do, it's like something like the ambition in us just won't let us sit still, you know what I mean?
100%. And like we said, we're going to have a quieter year this year, and then we started writing things in the calendar, and like, it probably is quieter, but it's not. Like there's still so much crap we're doing. Yeah. And it's just because we're not doing those bigger rallies, it does free up a little bit of time there. Yeah. We're finding other things to do. Yeah, which is still hectic.
But how long are you going up to Fink and pre-run this year?
Don't know yet. I'm hoping just to go out the week before, depending on we've got a bit going on at work and stuff between now and then. But if I can get up there once or twice before Fink, you're going to try to do that? I'd love to do that. That's a bit of a goal. And then I'm actually going, so Fink's like a start of a holiday for me. I'm right. 3 months in my Land Cruiser with the missus for
nice.
Going around WA and having a bit of fun. So in the back of my brain, I'm a little bit nervous because I don't want to be sitting there with a sore leg or a broken something. So she'll kill me.
Take it easy. Well, I mean, even if you do break something like a wrist, you can still just get in the cruiser and drive, you know,
exactly.
and that's your recovery time.
I'm hoping that,
3 months.
that does not happen.
No, I know. Yeah, I agree. I got to say, like last time I raced Fink, I pre-run for 14 days, and that was enough time and enough pre-running that I was confident on the bike, and running down the track and back up the track it didn't even feel like it was work. It didn't feel like there was no like, oh shit moments. You know, you have those moments where you like hit like a big square edge and you're like, dunk, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then like back and you're swapping and doing whatever else you're doing. There was none of that. I just ran up and I ran back, and it was kind of uneventful and almost like not exciting, because it was just like another day pre-running.
For sure.
And that was like, you know, another top 50 sort of finish, which was good. But to do any more, I think to push any further than that up the pointy end, you need to pre-run for longer, like a decent amount of time longer.
Yeah, 100%. You need to know. I was going to say there's just that from the top 30 to 50, then to get to the top 20 is a whole new box of frogs. So to get to there, I think it's something you've got to be fairly well committed on. And even I know boys that go up there and live just to ride that track for 6 months before. Like, you can't compete with that. Like,
no, that's what I mean.
That's just nuts.
And in some ways, I mean, you're never going to stop it, but in some ways it's almost like it'd be a lot cooler if they'd let no one pre-run the track.
Yeah, 100%.
Like Hatta is, you know, I mean, no one's let to pre-run the track, and then let's go and see who's the fastest.
Yeah, exactly, which is cool.
That would be cool. I just reckon there'd be a lot more injuries, that's all.
Yeah.
Because there's shit that'll catch you out there
100%.
real easily. So, I mean, even last year, was it Walsh's cousin? What's his name? Liam.
Yeah.
He was at about the 60K mark. He he qualified first, I think. And then when he came through, he was in like second, and he just sent it. It was like a bend, and he sent it straight off the track and just cartwheeled.
Yeah, right.
And I was just like, holy fucking
and
shit.
He'd know where it was.
Like, and I think he broke his wrist, and someone said he split his lip open too, like split his lip open when he hit the ground and shit. And like, he went straight and almost went out onto the service road, you know,
right,
you know, just after it crosses the road there at Deep Well there. And it was fucking.
And he'd know nearly every corner, I'd reckon.
Well, he'd be pre-running it a lot, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I reckon there'd be a lot more of that sort of shit happening, like where there's a lot more accidents.
And
And so, like, I was watching Walshy. Did you ever see that video when he hits that tree?
Yeah.
Lays across the track? But did you see what he said after he hit the tree?
No.
He goes, I knew there was something wrong because I couldn't see the top of that tree there that I normally could see. So I knew the corner was coming up, but I didn't. Because he's picking corners off trees on the track. Like, how can you memorize that well? You know what I mean? Like,
that's wild, isn't it?
It's so like, he spends so much time on that track. He should be the best.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he spends so much time on there. He knows every bump, every lump, every tree. You know what I mean? Like, I knew there was something wrong because that tree, the peak of that tree wasn't there. So I backed off, started braking before I hit it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you're like, right, that's...
It's like nearly in every sport when you think of it. Like, you get the rally people that live and breathe that they're the best. Like, you can't compete.
They spend the time.
You get the motocross are the same. They're the best. They're doing it every day. So there's no chance you're going to go up there and be on their toes.
Yeah. I often think about that, like with anything we do, and I'm terrible for it as well, because I don't spend any time practicing most things, and I just go and, you know, it's like you said, for the enjoyment of it, have a few beers, you know, have a bit of a yarn, whatever, fuck around. And, you know, anything you do, if you want to be doing it well, you need to prep. And you need to spend the time practicing and deliberately practicing. Like, how do we tweak this or tweak that, or, you know, what am I doing wrong in this part, you know, with my foot or whatever it may be. And you just, it's hard to get the time to do that, you know what I mean, with all the other stuff that happens in life.
Exactly,
you know?
Like, if we were just dedicated on doing just rally in this car and just do 6 a year, we probably could, like, commit and do that. But at the same time, we're busy at work. We want to go ride bikes. We want to go have a beer with the boys. We have mates and stuff that we go riding with and have some fun and want to go drive their older cars and stuff. So we're like, we've got so much other stuff that is fun as well that we don't want to put every little bit of energy we have into this, because there's so much other stuff out there we're having fun doing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 100%.
And like at the real, like, we go to wakeboat and stuff, so we like to go wakeboarding.
Yeah.
So there's like stuff like that over summer. Like, we bought a boat about 3 years ago. It's probably only got 10 hours on it.
Really?
Because it got to the point where we were running this Yaris and stuff. And like, we're only 10 minutes from the river. I had a good O.
Yeah.
And yeah, we love wakeboard, and you go out there and it's like, yeah, we go for 20 minutes and all right, we're going to go quickly do this to the car or do this. And it got to a point where we're just like, nah, this season we actually spent, well, not heaps, but a little bit more out there.
More than we have for the last 3 years.
So it's just stuff like that you forget. Like we look at it and go, oh, we've got a boat, we've got to go use that. Like we sort of forget when you're just so tied up in the one thing.
Yeah.
It's like it goes from a hobby to like a lifestyle. When you go from like racing ARC, it pretty much changed. Yeah, I had no time to do anything.
Yeah,
that was my life.
It's that next level, you know, and you have to be obsessed with it. Hey, to really commit to it, you have to be absolutely obsessed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's you have to really love it to be obsessed in that way.
Yeah.
You know, and still you can still love it, but just not be fully obsessed with it like every single day. And considering the amount of time you guys probably spend. And also the hours you spend fixing the car and doing that stuff. You guys are so close to the pointy end of ARC, it's not funny, like when you think about it, you know, because I'm sure a lot of other teams are more serious than you guys are. And so they're spending a lot more time prepping and practicing and all that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's really interesting that you guys are so close to the pointy end. But I mean, I guess the other thing too is because both of you guys have been, since you were kids, in racing and in race scenes in general, like it's probably quite a natural transition, if that makes sense. Like you just do it and it's like an everyday thing, like, you know, you can just pick it up easily.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't even know what a rally was when I was 17. I'd never been to a rally, never heard of one. And then I had one of Brad's best mates' dad races rallies in an old classic Datsun.
Yeah.
He rang me one day, he goes, oh, do you want to navigate for a friend of mine? I was like, oh, that'd be cool. Why not? You know, that's different than I navigated for a friend, Mick Torrey's name. And went up to Bulla Dealer, did a roadbook event for fun. He was a nice guy, had a few beers. Oh, this is awesome. I need to do this. So built a car. And then I think must have been 18 when we first did our first ever rally.
Yeah, right.
We had no idea, rocked up, not a single.
I remember you asked me, he goes, can you navigate for me? I was like, what is that? Got there and I've got this book and I'm reading these things and like it doesn't just say turn right, it's like TR and all these like
all abbreviations.
I'm like, holy crap, how do I read this? What's going on?
You got tight right. I'm like, what do you mean? That wasn't tight. And it's like, oh no, it's turn right.
Yeah, turn right. Yeah.
Because you got to be thinking about it so quick.
Like, so we had not a clue. Like we've never been to spectator rally, never did anything, never followed it. Just thought, that's pretty cool. And I navigated once and I was like, that's awesome.
I'm sold. Yeah. That's me. I'm doing that from now on.
I mean, it wasn't like we just jumped into a car with no idea. It's sort of one of those things there. That's why I think it took off so quick and where we got to the level that like he's driving at now and we're both at is because we'd been in cars, in paddocks, on bikes, doing stupid shit forever.
Yeah.
You just hopped in a car and you knew that how you can go fast. Because it wasn't something we had to learn from nowhere. We knew that we were always like out doing something stupid in the paddock at mum and dad's place when we were little. And so we had like experience, just not rally experience type.
Just go into the bush and just drive dirt roads.
Yeah.
Idiots just, we
used to do the same thing. I mean, we used to have like Datsuns and stuff like that in the old days. And we used to rally heaps. I mean, trees up hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like crashing cars. Like same thing. You just come in a corner, you're like, sideways. Then bang off a tree. Like, well, there's the dipstick out of that car now. Now I got to walk 7 Ks home. Like, you know, so it's, I think all bush kids, you know, kids that grow up in the bush and stuff, that we all used to drive cars and race bikes and do all that sort of stuff. Even if you were just riding an ag bike around the paddock, you were still doing that.
Doing something stupid, you'd find something to jump it off. Or...
Yeah. I was going to say something. I was going to say that to you before as well. I was like, I've never ever jumped a car like you would in rally. There's many really fucking big jumps in ARC.
We did probably the biggest jump I reckon we've ever done in the last round in Tassie.
Yeah.
And when you're doing recce, we're obviously in we're in a high last doing 60 Ks an hour.
Yeah.
And we're driving along and like we know down there was just like a crest and it was out of a pretty fast like road, like just a few 6 right, 6 lefts.
Yeah.
We had us over top of 6 gear pretty much.
Yeah.
And then we get there and I was crest, you know, whatever. And then when we're in the Yaris, we're doing 180 odd kilometres and we hit it. And I always had
I just say crest, flat crest, because that's what we had written, so that's all we knew.
And we hit it and I felt like we nearly jumped back to Yas.
I reckon we could see Yas. That's how high I went. I shit myself.
I was in the air for so long. Just 6 gears, limiter bashing 6 gears when we hit it.
Yeah.
And then, just flew through the air for however long and then we landed on the face of another crest.
Oh, really?
It was fine. The Yaris ate it up.
Takes
it was solid, but But I was just scared the shit out of it. So I just wasn't. I just rookie error. And should have noted it down.
And do you just stay in it? Like just it's on the limiter. Just keep it on the limiter, and then when you land, you just power through it. You know, because like in a car, a car's got to be, to me, it would feel so much different than a bike to jump, because when you land, I want to say that you're going to land and then it's going to like land and like kick sideways or just get a bit squirrely.
Yeah.
Whereas, and I don't know if that's the case, but I mean, definitely a road car would be like that. But I mean, like an ARC car or like a proper rally car's probably going to be a lot better, is it?
Yeah, a lot better. Like some corners, like we'll have jump over, like we'll hit corners jumping, like we'll hit like a crest.
That's what's scary.
That's
right.
Yeah. So you're saying like, I'll say 5 right on crest or flat right on crest. You're coming up to it and like I'm sitting there, I can just see him sort of go like just a little twitch of the steering wheel on this up ramp doing 160. You sort of go, oh, because you think it could just, if it doesn't leap or if it leaps in the air, it's just you're gone.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. When it's like unsettled sideways in the air, I reckon that's like, it's a while, it feels sick. But at the same time, I'm just like, oh, that's where you want to make sure that note is perfect and we're on the same page of what actually degree the corner's going to be.
And funnily enough, like when you do your recce, you must get better and better at making your notes, because when you, like to me, I'm sure I'd write the wrong notes down if I was doing a recce, because you must get used to it a lot better. And then as time goes by, you'll be able to get a better note, you know what I mean? To say
so it all comes down to the notes, I reckon, to be honest.
If you're driving and like the notes are clicking, like if I hit the first 3 corners and I'm like, they're perfect, you're just on it. Like you're on it from there.
Yeah.
But you have one doubt, don't you?
If you have one corner that you're like, oh, that wasn't, like I said 4 left, like that should have been a 3. Then you're in the back of your mind going, what else did I fuck up on the way?
Yeah.
But, so the notes are all clicking. It just, it feels awesome.
Yeah, sick.
There's a lot of things that have got to work in the car for you to have like that perfect run.
Yeah.
You got to have the car work and us work and everything that just has to work.
But that's everything about racing, isn't it? Like when everything, like it's so rarely does everything work out.
Exactly.
Well, you know what I mean? There's so many factors that go into racing in general that it's very rare for everything to be perfect all the time.
100%.
I mean, a lot of the time you might be driving around a problem, like as in a mechanical problem, or you're riding around a mechanical problem, or you a lot of the time when you're riding around an injury, like you're a bit sore here, sore there, whatever. And so, very rarely does it all go your way.
Exactly.
And when it does, it's sick.
Yeah, when it does, it's like the best feeling, but it doesn't come very easily.
No. So, it's So have you guys podiumed at all, even in the lower levels?
We've done a few sort of. So the ARC stuff we did, we're pretty much just knocking on the top 5 nearly everywhere type thing. It's one of those, to get to that next level is like something else, like we said. Yeah. But Jamie had, like we did a couple of years ago, it was like undefeated for like a year and a half non-stop, which all just sort of like the lower level stuff, which got us to where we are now. But there was a heap of good results coming up to there. And then I had a couple of good ones last year.
We both won a few state. I think I put the photos up. We both won a Victorian state round each in opposite seats, which was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah. So I won Midder Mountain Rally in Victoria, which is that photo in the middle there. Brad navigating, and then Brad won. Was that Academus?
Ada River
Victorian Rally Championship, like the round.
Yeah, cool.
With me navigating. So I thought that's pretty cool to have both of us opposite seats with a Victorian state round.
Yeah, cool.
Because there's not many people. I don't think there's anyone that really does swap. Anyone else that swaps the drive and sort of thing. People go like, how the hell you do that? I go, I don't know. It's just fun.
It just works.
Something different,
Like we enjoy it. It helps a lot. Me navigating for Brad, I reckon, helps my driving a lot.
Yes.
And then, because he drives too, if we can tell each other if we're not doing something right. Yeah,
and the other thing too is like you guys would be super competitive with each other anyway. So it's like just sharing it a little bit's good too, because you get a bit out of your system, you know what I mean? Because it's just in there, you're just like, I want to drive.
We haven't come up against a rally just yet, like properly with each other. We did one the year just gone. There was one little rally that I have a big mouth, so I like to talk myself up a bit, and I was talking up. I had a good mate in with me navigating. It was like the first time I've had someone else, and then Jamie had another mate in there navigating, and I was like, I'm going to smoke him, like just fucking shit for weeks.
Bullying me for
weeks. And I got destroyed. Like I could have walked around. I was that nervous and just got absolutely pumped. So I was like,
it was fun. I should have put that video. It was his first time driving in the wet weather too, to be fair.
I was just being a dickhead. And Jamie got smoked, and I smoked
4th. Right, which is still pretty good.
Yeah, it's cool. But this year we're going to do a couple that hopefully we just see what happens. But there's probably 1 or 2 that we might end up doing like a full-on attack with each other.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not at that level. I'll either crash big time or go okay. So it's just, it's having that navigator as well though, because we then worry about each other not being in the same car and whatnot, and just we work so good on that level. So
Yeah.
Got to be careful what you say, which I learnt the hard way. We did a rally in Bathurst, in Brad's VL, and I was navigating for him, and he was driving. I'm like, he's being a little bitch. I'm like, so much. Should I tell him? I'm like, if I tell him, he'll probably turf it. I'm like, no, I'll tell him. I'm like, oh, stop driving like a little bitch. He's like, oh shit, am I? I'm like, yeah, get into it. And the next corner, we are off the road completely. I was like, I shouldn't have said anything. We're going to die now.
But that's what we can have that banter in the car. Like if I say to Jamie, like at the Yaris level, if I can tell he's driving not right, I can say, oi, get your shit together. Yeah. Like we're here for this. I can tell you're not in it.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're in a random, if you're hopping with some random person and navigate, like I wouldn't have the balls to say, oh, you're driving hopeless. Like, we've got that in there that we can say, and he'll go to me like, sometimes like, I'm a little bit out of control. I'm not very in control. So he sort of helps me. Like I come around a corner when I've got no idea what to do because I haven't done it as much as him, and I'm off the road and I'm like, I'll just let go of the steering wheel and like stop. But he's like, no, flat. I'm like, what do you mean? And like these cars, you hold it flat and it pulls you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like that's been a big learning thing, I think, with
especially
the drive.
in the Subaru now too, because you can get yourself out of so many problems. If you're off the road, you just knock it down a gear, hold your foot flat, and it just drags you back on the road.
If in doubt, power out.
Yeah. Exactly. And I wasn't used to that. And the car, I was in the VL, it just do hoops and things. And this Subaru thing was a whole new kettle of fish. And I started driving it. I was like, this is sick. Like it was actually really cool.
Yeah, I've never actually drifted a full drive car. Like it's funny enough, I did a wedding yesterday. I was at a wedding. And I took my Monaro out there, and on the way home, I was getting a bit excited, and let's put this way: I came home with ball tyres. They were brand new. They're now non-existent. But like a rear-wheel drive car, I can drift and drive a rear-wheel drive car, but I reckon a four-wheel drive car would be sick, because it just wants to steer you around with the nose, if that makes sense, which should be way better. And so if you do start to go off the road, like you said, and you get on the gas, it'll pull you back on the road.
You don't have that instinct though. Like you're off the road, you sort of want to bail out and cry.
Well, especially when you're used to driving a rear-wheel drive car, and even racing a rear-wheel drive car, it'd be even worse.
And like he was the same. So he come out of a rear-wheel drive Sprinter into the Subaru, and we struggled for a fair while just trying to get grips of how this thing worked. Yeah. Then once he worked it out, then I did nearly the exact same thing. I hopped out of a slow shitter and then got into this Subaru, and I'm just like, wow, this thing is just mental.
We've never had anyone teach us how to drive. We've just worked it out together.
Feel it.
We've never had like a professional driver with us say, oh, you're doing this wrong. We just go, oh, that doesn't work. Yeah. We crashed there. Let's not do that.
It's an expensive way to fucking learn.
The all-wheel drive is, I reckon, because you can just point and shoot. I think there's a video in here. This was brake and car out of control sideways, but all-wheel drive, it's just... You just point and shoot. Like there's no traction there, but you can just.
It really, like, and this has been for my whole life just about. It amazes me how the fuck a rally car can go around a dirt corner and just stick to the road. I don't know how it happens. Like
that was slosh. Like that was terrible. They cancelled the rally because the two-wheel drives couldn't turn. They couldn't make.
I couldn't turn. I was in a four-wheel drive one. That was the one that I had a complete Barney of. It was bad. I had 4 goes to get down the same corner. My mate sitting next to me. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I do not know. I shouldn't have got out of bed today."
So you're driving aggressive. Tip it in. It'll do what you want. But it's got to have the testicles to do that.
Yeah.
But it's just.
Go back. There's another video there. Just go back. There's another one there, isn't there? Just next to it. That's
the hairpin. That was actually, you can see how slippery it is in this.
It looks slick. It looks really slick there.
It was like brake so early, and then just handbrake. You can see the car slide backwards.
Yeah. Oh shit.
That was the one I couldn't get around.
Yeah, Brad ended up in the gutter.
A few times. It's just bad,
You had 4 goes in that.
Yeah. I turned right and the car just went to the left. Like, what the hell? And there's one of our mates who's like a good photographer, and he's there, and I just looked at him out the window. I was like, you're kidding me. Give him the finger. They just made a full meal of that.
That's always the case. You always have a Barney right where the photographer is. Do you know, I don't know, I've had Max, Max Sullivan at all? No. I've had Max on the podcast twice now because he went to Dakar as mechanic 5 times. And then he also done like 13 Australian safaris stuff as a mechanic. Yeah, okay. But he's a photographer and a journalist as well. Yeah. And I didn't know him at all. And I did my first, must have been Condo 750. Like I see this guy up in the bushes in his high vis, and I'm like, photographer's there. I'm like, I'm just going to hook into this corner and just hang it through the corner. So then I start coming in, I'm going, the front wheel's getting further and further and further away from me. I was like, I'm coming down here. And there's like this, he got this photo of this roost off my front wheel as I'm understeering into the dirt and like taking a dirt nap. And then I every time I'm in a rally or at a race or anywhere, like if it's Yellow Mountain or anything like that, he's there, and I always make the mistake right where in front of him every time. Sure. And that's kind of how we became mates. Is that like he'd be like, "You binned it again," or you nearly binned it, or you nearly binned it again. I think last year at Condo, not last year, the year before Condo, at Condo, I come across, and there's like this little bridge. I was like come through these cattle yards. And then you turned out and went across this bridge, and it was like there was nothing there. But then the bridge had like a steel like gutter as you came off onto it, and there's a puddle before it. And I like went, yeah, it'd be right. And I just monoed onto the bridge, and he's there taking on the other side of the bridge taking photography. I hit the bridge, hit there, back wheel kicked up with this, and the bridge is slick as shit. Yeah, because everyone's been going across it. It's been getting wetter and wetter and wetter, and I'm sideways. It had gates on the bridge like the back of a truck. Yeah, and I'm into the one gate, into the other gate. I nearly took him out. He didn't even move. He just stayed there, clicking away until my back wheel was like in the photography lens, like just the back wheel, nothing else. He didn't move. And then after the rally, I'm like, dude, I nearly killed you. And he's like, yeah, I was all right.
Didn't care, whatever.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
Got the shot. That's all that matters.
Yeah, every time I nearly crashed when I did right in front of him. So now every time I go near him, I'm like, all right, back off, Scott, back off.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, don't do it. So it's always something like that. But even at Fink, when I crashed, when the bike stalled in the air, like that was the perfect shot. I mean, the photos are just there. Yeah. But it was the perfect shot, and the photographer just got me right in that good spot. And I'm like.
Then sometimes I'm kind of glad they got it. They like when you try and tell a crash story, it wouldn't have been that bad. Oh yeah, like then you got a photo of it, and you're like, holy shit, like that actually was good. So
yeah, that was a disaster. But yes, no. Have you guys had any big crashes in the cars?
Nothing crazy. We did one pretty big one.
Touch wood, yeah.
That's that first roll, but a roll's better than a hit the tree. Just because
the sudden stop.
Yeah. We had one pretty decent crash in my Subaru, just come off the road and hit like an embankment, and like solid hit. Yeah. But still not too bad.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, there's always a few good crashes at rallies, but
I was going to say, nasty one. You must be driving reasonably sensibly. Like, I mean, maybe Brad doesn't, but
you got to know the limits. But yeah, it's just
there's a line you draw, I suppose, when you know you got to go to work and go home.
And fix the car yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Are you guys building cages and stuff yourselves as well?
Nah, we leave that to the professionals. That's important, that part.
I agree, yeah. I mean, we've built a few cages over the years, but for winch trucks and stuff, and, you know, you're still going pretty quick, but you're not, you know, you might be doing 100 Ks an hour. Yeah. But it's not, you know, it's not the 200 Ks an hour. Yeah. Like the cages in the rally cars, they amaze me. Like
they're pretty full on. Rally
guys don't get hurt more often. You're literally flipping through trees or into trees or whatever, and they just walk away. Like it's the safety in the cars is so cool.
I think that's what I like that too. Like being on a motorbike forever, you get thrown off, you hit something that's going to hurt. But in the car, I just feel like you're in a box of metal. Like I'm sweet in here. I'm invincible in here. Like I think that's sort of something that, you know, you can go. So like, I've seen plenty of crashes. We've seen them, and there's injuries. Like people get away with stuff, but they're not getting like severely hurt because their cars are that safe. And like the stuff that's in them these days is crazy how strong and what they are.
Do you guys have like suspension seats in them? So like especially when you hit a G out or jump.
No, they're just solid.
They're just solid, are they? Yeah, right. So but the car must take it up. Fucking well.
Yeah, the Yaris does because the suspension's so good in that. But when you strap in so tight, like it hurts. Like it almost takes your breath. We strap our straps down as tight as we possibly can.
Yeah, right.
Just so because you get bounced around in there so hard. You just want to be as stable as you can.
Yeah.
When you get to the end, you pull your harnesses off so like you can breathe again.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
We have neck braces. You have to wear a neck brace.
You wear harness device as well?
Yeah, that over there. So once it's strapped in, it's pretty much you're looking forwards, and that's about it.
Yeah, you can't see anything else. Yeah. Do you have trouble like when you with a hand device and all that stuff, and even with all your head protection and stuff like that, when you're sideways through a corner, do you want to look out the window almost, like try and turn your head enough? Or have you got enough head?
You got enough, yeah. You do look out the side a lot, like you look at the side window quite a bit.
Yeah.
But you can see enough. And I'm very far back in the car, so I'm pretty much in line, like the front window's in front of me almost.
Is that
Like the side windows,
help center of gravity type thing?
Yeah. So I'm like the side window's in front of me almost, so you're sort of looking there.
Yeah. And are you sitting on the floor pretty much?
Yeah, I'm pretty low.
Yeah. So
you look like a little boy. When
And they make you lower is it for car sickness or is it just for center of gravity type thing? Make you
Center of gravity
weight a bit lower?
Yeah. And there's not heaps of sort of room in there. Like Jamie just squeezes in because he's pretty tall.
Yeah.
And like, I'm pretty sweet. But yeah, it's sort of funny. Like you hop in, you don't realise it until like he'll hop in one of my cars and I've got it set up for me. There's no way he could drive it. Like it'd just be your knees are around his ears sort of thing. It's crazy how much different it actually makes just being how the seat, how they're set up. Well, there's a fair bit that, once you're in there, you're in there.
It's my seat in the Yaris, because I'm so long, like it's pretty much as low as you can get it. I push the pedals as far as I can forwards, and my head still sits between the roll cage. Like a real rough patch, my head will bob between the roll cage. Like, whoa.
Wake up.
Yeah, it does. It wakes you up real good.
That's so good.
Because it's such a small car. You know,
that's right.
It's tiny.
Yeah.
But so
and because originally they're like a 2-door, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not like a 4-door Yaris,
Yeah.
Like I drove a 4-door Yaris the other day, like a hybrid, when I was in Perth. And it was actually pretty good to drive. I didn't mind it.
They still go good.
I was like, I didn't mind this. It's all right.
They're a comfy little car.
Yeah.
Zippy thing.
Yeah. And then the GR's smaller than that again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And just shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they must be wider, hey?
Yeah.
Shorter and wider.
And then like the wheel tracks widen again for all the rally stuff.
Yeah, righto. Yeah. Cool. That's good.
Yes.
What else? What are you going to do in the New Zealand? Is it Targa rally?
Yeah, a Targa rally.
Yeah.
So it's a gravel rally. It's like bucket list. Like it's awesome. Like it's one of the best known rallies in the world.
Yeah, okay.
The roads are meant to be so good.
It's just mountainous and up and down, or
just fast, very smooth, fast, flowy roads.
Yeah, righto.
Which are cool. And so I had the option to drive a Escort, a bit of an older Escort, nothing flash, like not a competitive car.
Yep.
But that, which is pretty awesome, like 2 litre. Well, that's, again, bucket list stuff. 2 litre Escort.
Yeah.
Or they call them a H6 Subaru. So it's like a WRX, but it's got a 6-cylinder in it. So they're very, very popular over there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
we used to get a V6 Liberty here, didn't we? Like a V6 turboed Liberty.
I think it might have been diesel. I don't know.
Maybe.
We got a 6-cylinder Subi somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's flat 6. And NA.
Righto.
Righto. Option that, like a 2-door one, which is pretty cool, like a GC8 2-door.
Yeah,
6
cool.
Like, that's cool. It'd be a bit more competitive. Could probably have more of a crack, but it's like, I want to drive an Escort. That's cooler.
Yeah. And like you said, it's like a bucket list thing to do.
Just for fun. We'll go there again with no pressure. I feel like you ride the best when you're there with no pressure, having some fun and just...
For sure, 100%.
Enjoy the rally.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but every time before a race, I get super, super nervous. Even if I'm just trying my best to not take it seriously, I just get like this nervous anxiety, and all I want to do is either I want the gate to drop, or I want someone to let me go off the fucking stage. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just want someone to let me go because I've just got all this nervous energy. I just don't know what to do with. I'm like, what do I do with it? And then once you go, as soon as that flag drops, you're just like, okay, we're good.
Yeah, for sure.
But beforehand, I just get so nervous. And the best, like you said, the best times you seem to race is when you just put no pressure on yourself.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? It's easier said than done, though, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I was the same with that because when we go to the stages, we'll drive pretty much all the way to the stage, maybe stop a couple Ks before. And we get out, do the tyre pressures, put our helmets on. And right there, I'm shitting myself. I'm absolutely packing it. Like I have a few dry heaves. Like it's
that exactly. That's what I'm like too.
Yeah. And then as soon as I put the helmet on, I'm sitting in the car strapped in. Fine. Then we're sitting on the start line, just a little bit, not as bad. Then as soon as he's like Brad starts counting down from 10, just everything you forget about it.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one there that does that because I do the exact same thing. And my dad, you'd know, your mum and dad see you do the same things. But my dad's like, the fuck is wrong with you?
What are you doing that for?
Like, gonna spear up for the start line or start from. Even sometimes in my helmet, like I'll put my helmet on and then I'm like, do I need to take my helmet off again? No, I don't. I'm all good.
The more you think about the worse it gets.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about why it creates so much nerves and so much anxiety. It's like an anxiousness, whatever it is, like nervous energy. Fuck, it kills me. I can't ever, like I've tried all these like little things to try and help it, you know what I mean? And I never seem to be able to help it that much.
So, I don't reckon I've ever been nervous on a bike until I did think when I wanted to like go all right.
Yeah.
And then hopping in a rally car. So hopping in the Subaru last year, like a couple of them was sort of, I'd never driven a 4-drive car, never done a rally at the level we did. And we got like they seed you, so like what you start.
Yeah.
And like they put me in like I think we car 4 or something like the very first rally, and I was just like, holy shit! I said that's. Now I'm scared. Now I'm nervous. Like, this is not. I don't need to. I want to be car 20. Like that scared me.
Yeah.
So I've never ever had been nervous on a bike. Or like, I think it's just like the pressure. You put pressure on yourself, and you know that you're capable of doing something good. That's when the nerves start coming. So
For sure.
I reckon I'm like, I'll rock up to a motocross club day these days. Don't even care. I'm completely fine. But then if I go like, to think like I know this year I'm going to be shitting myself.
Yeah.
And even in the rally car, I sort of get like. The ones that you don't really care about and don't give a shit about, but when you know you've got like people watching you or you've talked it up and something like that, I go, all right, I need to really talk.
Remember in your first ever rally, Rosewood, in your KE70? Never driven a car on dirt fast, like never. We got in it, we went and did a little test run out of road, took off, and he's like, holy shit, what's going on?
I just had to keep steering. We're doing like 30 Ks an hour in a KE70 rally. I was like shitting myself. I was like, what's going on? James, like, it's normal. And I'm holding the steering wheel slow. I'm just like going little twitchy. Yeah.
And then we get to the first stage, take off. It was all good. Got through the first stage, like not bad. And then we get to the end and he was dripping.
I was sweating. I was like,
I've never seen someone be so wet inside of the car.
I do remember
but then
that.
after that, you're fine. After you got the first stage out of the way, it was completely fine.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to expect, and I was like, "What's going on?" I see him do it. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I can do that, surely." And then,
it's definitely harder than it looks, isn't it?
I was very blown away by and even like how now, like obviously I drive the Subaru, not too bad, but then the level that Jan and Jamie goes into like the Yaris, I just go like, it's just commitment, like crazy. So.
And it's a bit of trust too, I suppose. You just trust the car better and
exactly.
that sort of thing. And, it'd be good if you guys probably did a bit more time, like I was saying before, about more test days and stuff, because you get better and better. It's all just that time. Exactly. I got to say, I noticed that like this year at Safari, Toby Hedrick got lost. And we caught up, me and a group of us caught up to him. And me and Corey, Corey Banks.
Yeah.
Me and Corey like, on it, and I'm chasing Corey. We're keeping our notes and stuff like that. And then Toby was either just in front of us already. He must have been just in front of us already. And he just like slowly just walked away from us.
Yeah.
And I was going as fast as I possibly could. Yeah. And I was making zero mistakes. And he's just walking away. And eventually I can't see his dust anymore. I'm like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Like, and it was like tight, snotty, shitty, sandy sort of tracks.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he was riding faster. Like, okay, he's got a 500 and I'm on a 450, but Corey's on a 500 and I'm keeping up with him.
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
And I'm just like, he's just at that next level that you just not.
How do you get to that?
Yeah, how do you, well, I think it's practice mostly, but
testing, setting up the bike.
We say that too. Like nearly exact same scenario. Like we'll get to a stage. I know Gippsland, I think it was Gippsland Rally last year or even this year might have been. Like we did like the first stage there. It's pretty cool. When Jane was driving, like I got to the end and I was like, it sort of scared me. I was like, holy shit, that was the best I've ever seen this thing. Like that was, and I was like, that was sick. Like we're hitting each other in the car all G'd up.
Yeah.
And we're like 10 seconds off the pace. It was 14K. And we're just like, how are we leaving 10 seconds out there? Like everything was perfect. Like we thought it was all just click and bang on.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that, that tiny little back off at me to you.
Yeah.
Every 10 corners, there's 10 seconds type thing. So it's just crazy how they.
Yeah, it's like half a second every corner or something, and then 10 seconds is gone.
It's gone, like instantly. Yeah. It's just like, and he's done nothing wrong. Like it's, it was just, it's crazy the timing and how it's just how different it is. And it could be set up like the car might have a bit more traction, which you can then go 10Ks faster.
I was going to say, it can be like someone's run a medium tyre rather than a soft tyre or whatever. And so it feels good, but it's just not somewhere that someone else is making that time up with better setup or whatever it may be,
Exactly right.
So
and we don't have the time or the place to go and start tweaking things.
Things
at the rally. Even the diffs, when we were on the little plane flying to Tassie, I was talking to one of the top runners, like really experienced, been racing rallies for 30 years, raced world rallies.
Yep.
And was having a yarn, like good fella. And he's like, oh, what do you do with the diffs? Like, what do you mean? He was like, how much do you adjust the diffs during the weekend? Like, I've had the car for 2 years, I've never touched it. And
we changed the oil,
he couldn't believe it. He's like, really? Because you don't change that. I'm like, no. I said, I wouldn't know what to do. I said, I've never driven a car of this caliber before to know what would change. I get in, I go, holy shit, this thing's unreal. So
have they got quick change out gear ratios or what's the go?
You can tighten them up and you can pull the drive shaft up and like adjust the like LSD and stuff in there. There's so many things you can do.
Yeah,
like I said, I've never done it, never had to never really thought to do it.
Yeah.
That's what they're all at testing. They got diffs out, changing shit. They're adjusting everything.
And have they got front LSD and rear LSD?
Yeah, well, mine's actually like fully locked, so it's like tight. So mine's like pretty much as tight as it can go.
Yeah, right.
That's again why you got to drive it so aggressive.
Yeah.
So there's no, if you just go in a turn, it will just push you straight off the road.
Front and rear.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Is it hard to steer then?
A little bit, yeah. It's got a very, like the power steering pump and everything on it's like
huge.
Worked.
Yeah.
It's got a Rally 2, so like all the Rally 2 cars we're competing against now, they're like, built by Skoda, Hyundai, Toyota.
Yeah.
I've got a Citroen Rally 2 rack in mine.
Yeah, okay.
So it's all proper, good gear in there.
Yeah.
So it handles it good.
Because you guys, I think your mum was telling me that you guys had another motor, and then you guys got a motor from Europe because it was way better.
Yeah, well, we just went because we had the Bateses who like helped us out a lot with it, and we were sort of copying it. We had no idea, like we just drove an old shitty Subaru, and we're going to this and like, holy shit, like it's unreal.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about motors. We're going to build one ourselves, and then the Bateses had their spare motor.
Yeah.
Which is one like their first generation ones. And then they said, this is probably a better thing. We know it's tested, it's trialed, it's going to last.
Yeah.
So we end up going with that. So it's a TGR, so built in Germany by Toyota Gazoo Racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, that's come a long way since then. So I could.
Yeah, again.
Yeah. So it's never ending.
Like, what do you get out of it? You get toughness out of it. You get like reliability and toughness, but like, and you're only going to get 170 kilowatts or whatever max. But is it like you get more torque or the response is better?
Yeah, well, it's the torque monster. It's got plenty of torque in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think reliability is key for rally as well. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point having a 500 horsepower if you can't get to the end of the rally.
Yeah, exactly.
Win all the stages and then not finish the last one, you're still classed as DNF.
That's exactly right. Yeah, and that's one of the interesting things about all rally, including navigational, like regular navigational rally too, is it ain't over till it's fucking over.
Yeah, exactly.
You get to that last bit of the race.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how well you went the rest of the rally. You need to get past that finish line.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can throw away 3 days of your hard work and everything in the last little kilometre driving there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like normally in Tassie, like I was devastated because we got to the end of the stage and the head split.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had the shit. So I just worked so hard to be here in the first place. Just made it the whole way through the rally. And now we've got to drive 60 kilometres back to the service park to be classed as a finisher.
Yeah.
But then we looked at it, still had oil pressure. We just kept driving it, monitored it, and made it the whole way.
No, that's lucky.
I was like, imagine if it just broke. Right. If we couldn't drive it, we'd be a DNF. Did the whole rally, did every single stage.
Yeah.
Had a reasonable good result. And then, just finished.
And it throws away the year, throws away the whole. We finished every single stage of every rally in that car last year.
That's pretty fucking amazing when you think about it. Like, it's hard to do.
100%. So that was just crazy. We sort of looked at the end of the year and we're like, whoa. I was like, that's pretty cool, especially prepping it off his own back pretty much. Like we had a couple of mechanical things happen, but you all do. But to do every single stage we started, and I was like, whoa, at that level is pretty cool.
I think you said I was watching something there earlier today, or maybe it was maybe I was actually watching on YouTube. You said you had something with your sequential shifter, like you flat shift.
Yeah.
And you said you just disconnected it and drove around it and happy days, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't bolt like that because we're like I feel like we're pretty easy and we can adapt to everything.
Yeah.
So the flat shift was cutting out, so you drive and it'll just keep blipping cutting the ignition.
Oh, I was cutting this while you're driving.
Yeah. So your foot flat, you pull the gear shifter, it cuts ignition while it changes gears.
Yeah, for
so you don't have to lift your throttle.
Yep.
But it just kept thinking that I was trying to pull the gear stick.
Yeah.
Cutting the ignition. So you go around a corner, then you just lose power. It was terrifying. So we got through the stage and then we just unplugged it. So
that's fun. So you know, new dirt bikes have this as well.
Yeah.
And what do you do on a dirt bike all the time?
Jump.
No, you do that too, but you lean on the gear shifter all the time. So as soon as you lean on the gear shift, especially mid corner, you lean on the gear shifter to go like I'm almost going to get into gear, not quite, and it goes boo and cuts the power. Mid corner, same thing, and it scares the shit out of you.
And then you're still in the same gear because you weren't ready to go down again.
Yeah, that's right. It's like they make.
That petrifies me of jumping, coming on an up ramp and something goes weird like that. That scares me.
I've had a few mates run it like forget to turn the fuel on or something like that, and like on a big double just like face plant into the down ramp and just break wrists and stuff like that. It's bad news.
Yes,
it's bad news. But I don't know, like. In the car, 100%. It's awesome to have that little ignition cut when you shift gears.
Yeah.
But on a bike, I don't see how you need it. Like it's too much.
Exactly.
Maybe on a road bike, yep, cool, because road bikes are more, you're shifting more deliberately. Whereas on a dirt bike, you don't know when you need to quickly grab a gear.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You just grab a gear like that, like, I need to grab that gear. When I need it, you know what I mean? And it's not like you've done 50 laps of the same track. Every single lap, you can do it on a motocross track or grass track or whatever, every single lap's different.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you're not going, I'm going to hit this apex here and click down a gear. You go, that rut that was there last lap is no longer not there anymore. Like, I need to change lines, you know? And so I don't see why the hell they do it on dirt bikes, you know what I mean? It's just...
Technology is wild, isn't it?
Well, it is, but I think... It definitely needs to be smoothened out somehow or changed a bit. I mean, you'd know what it was like when we were younger racing bikes. You just lean on the gear and once the RPMs match, it just clicks the gear.
Exactly right.
And you just flat shift it, happy days, and it never ever harms the gearbox.
No.
The gearbox seemed to love it. You know what I mean? A wet PTO transmission like that, like...
Yeah, never had issues with them.
No, they love it. So, I don't see why they do it, but it's scary as shit when you try and shift gears.
There's more things to go wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, or like dumb shit like kickstand switches. Like on new adventure bikes and stuff, they got all these kickstand switches.
Yeah. Okay.
So a rock jumps up, hits the kickstand fucking switch on the stand, smashes it to pieces. Guess what? It cuts the bike out.
Yeah.
So now you're stuck in the middle of the bush with a bike that won't run.
Yeah.
And luckily this happened to us on our trip to Fink, and it was on a Yamaha, so it was all right. So I grabbed it, twisted the cables together and shorted it, and it worked fine.
Yeah.
But on KTMs, that you can't do that. You need a resistor.
Yeah.
So you need to put a resistor across the switch to make it work. So you smash that one, you're stuck.
Yeah.
You're literally stuck. You can't do anything about it. And like, what the fuck? It's so, sometimes technology doesn't work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's too much.
100%.
So, but But like you said before, you can just drive around problems like that a lot of the time.
Exactly. I always unplug. There's one plug on our gear stick, just to disconnect it completely.
Oh, that's easy then.
And then just flip the throttle. So just accelerate, lift, pull the gear.
Yeah.
So I don't know to clutch it or anything still. Just, So it's not a big problem. It's
It's all straight cut gears and shit. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's good. I was just talking before about Brad talking shit. You guys did a bit of commentating. I saw. Was it on 10 or something? It was
7.
7? Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
That was a bit of a stitch. I think Jamie got a message during the week or week before saying, can we give you boys the mic or something? And I was like, okay, that's fine. It was just such a hard, and we didn't think it was going to happen. And they threw us the mic, one night, like it was a Friday night before the rally, I think, just doing like a show, like I have a pre-rally show and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just hard because we sort of are a bit of dickheads, I guess you could say, in a way, and like to just ask stupid stuff and just be funny. But it's very hard to, what you can say.
We get along with everyone very well.
What's PC and what's not?
Yeah, what can we? And like we look at it now and go, we could have done that so much better, or did so many different things and that. But at the time, you just sort of like, how far can you really push it?
They did cut a lot out too.
Did they?
Yeah. There's a lot of bad stuff.
Just takes practice too a lot of the time, I know for sure. And I think that I've gotten better at doing, like, talking to people and doing this. But then I also get comments from people going, if I look at your first podcast and I look at the podcast now, you are so much better than you were. I'm like, oh, really? I kind of think I feel like I'm better. I'm trying to tweak things and maybe not swear as much or not say ums and ahs and like and this sort of thing. But you can't see yourself doing it. So when you can watch it back, but you've got a biased view of yourself too. But when someone else says that, you're actually getting better, you're like, okay, I'm getting better. Okay, that's good. Yeah. That's I'm glad. You know what I mean? So
but everyone loved it, didn't they? Everyone loved it.
Yeah, it was actually
because when I watched it, I don't know, I must have watched it when it was actually on the TV, and I was like, this is the funniest shit ever. This is so good. Because it was actually quite good. It was like, there's good banter between all you guys, in the pits.
And it made it a bit different. I don't think anyone's ever really done that stuff before. And I think it was just, we get along with everyone and we can have a bit of fun and make people laugh and stuff. So I was like, you two clowns go and just do something. We can do that.
Yeah.
We're very real popular, like the ARC stuff, like all of our photos that post of our car always gets the most likes and everything. So
cool.
Yeah.
I noticed like the sign writing in your car, like, it's real, what do I say? It's not like out there in your face. Yeah. It's more like that, it's like that, well, it was black on black almost like that. Now it's like green on black. Yeah. And it's like,
Just plain and simple.
It's that plain and simple. It's not in your face too much.
Yeah.
You guys were looking at, your mum was saying you were looking at a sponsor at some stage, another sponsor?
Yeah, we got a few people. So we got J&T Plant. So John and Amy, local contractor, big excavators and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sponsor us and help us out a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but they're awesome. They're our main sponsor.
Yeah.
Then obviously Luff Motors is a big sponsor.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's a few friends with little businesses that helped us out along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
cool.
we're trying to get a big sponsor because obviously it's so expensive.
It is, and that's the thing is you want to, especially if you're going to do it more seriously than you are even now. It's like at some point in time you need to have a sponsor that's going to come on board and help you out, so you can actually spend more time doing the rally stuff. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and that's why it's sort of good doing all this media stuff that we do because we get a lot of coverage, that kind of stuff, and
for sure. And that's the thing. Like I was my business partner. You know Shane Brewer. You know Shane.
Maybe.
No? He raced a bit motocross and stuff in the old days. But he was showing me some guys in the States that race Speedway, and they just do like a full race coverage of their race, racing sprint cars. And like he's the driver that he's showing me, his name's, I can't think of his name now, but he's not a fantastic driver. Like he's like a top 10 driver, but he's not a fantastic driver, but he got like a ride with like one of the best teams in the States because of how much coverage he gets through YouTube, and he's a bit of a character, and he, talks about all the bits and pieces. And so they like him, and all the sponsors like him because he's out there in the community a lot, you know what I mean? Which
see him.
Yeah, that's right. He has that, even though he's not the best driver, he's a well-known driver, if that makes sense. So it works really well. And I'm sure, as he's been funding himself forever, him and his family, same sort of thing as like you guys have, is that you can't spend all the money on the car. You can't have the best car and the best equipment. So even though he's like top 10, he's doing really well. Yeah. But he's, if he had that, when he has that extra sponsorship and stuff, and he, like I said, he got onto an actual proper team now, I think he'll probably race a lot better because he has,
less on his mind as well.
Well, someone working on the car for him, not doing it all himself, not him and his dad doing it, whatever else, And so it makes it a lot easier. But yeah, it'd be good if you guys get someone on board. Awesome.
I would love it,
And I think doing more of that, like personal brand stuff, what do you want to call it, or it works really well, especially in this day and age. Like now you have to do it, I think. You know what I mean? And even with the Luff Toyota stuff, it's really good. Yeah.
Well, there was a presentation night in Tassie, and we won the Fans Choice Award.
Nice.
So we won the award for
having the most fun, I reckon.
Yeah,
that's what it was. That's what I think. A lot of because we come from grassroots rallying, because we started in there. Yeah. So we got friends and we know everyone from almost every level. Level, and AMSAG is called, where we started, just fun events and things like that. And so we think that helps a lot because we actually did all that. Yeah. Most of the other competitors have just been in the top level since they've been rallying.
Right.
Straight into the top level.
They just went straight into top level. Yeah. Which seems silly because you'd think they'd start in the lower levels and then work their way up and get the experience and all that stuff. Because it's big. It's like I said, it's big dollars to be in the top echelon straight away, and especially when you haven't driven that much. For
sure.
How do you step up to that level? You need to do a lot of practice to do that.
So, but a lot of them don't do roadbook rallies. So a lot of the top drivers would have never done a roadbook. A blind rally. Yeah. Where all the rallies that we started with were all blind. It helps a lot with your driving because you can read the road and all that. So that's probably why they didn't do that. I'd say just because it's all road book, which they think is less safe, which it definitely is, but it's like I said before, you just need to trust whoever's written the notes, wrote them properly. Exactly. That's the hard part.
And you need to trust that there's not a log on the track or something crazy like that, or I was watching one of the things there before, someone came around the corner, it's like a whole bunch of cows on the road. I was like, holy shit. I was like watching, I was like, is he gonna clean up all those cows? And he just got around, and I was like, he's gonna wreck his car getting around the cows, you know what I mean?
Well, we come around the corner, there was people riding push bikes down the road towards us.
That's scary. That's scary.
Because it's a forest, they're good at they bunt off every road, but there's the mountain bikers that obviously come from somewhere.
Out of a single track or something.
And we come around a corner, lucky it was quite a slow corner, and then here's just two mountain bikers in the middle of the road riding towards us. And they just went straight off the road each side.
Fuck.
We're just plucking gears past them. They're just...
I remember one time we've seen hikers as well out driving off the road, but they must have just crossed. We were first car on the road, car one. come around the corner, here's just these people with little sticks walking along. They would have been like, what the fuck? What's going on? They'd have no idea.
Yeah, 100%.
These cars going past them when you're 200. It's like, what's happening?
But like Australia is pretty good for that sort of stuff. Imagine racing in Mexico or doing like a Baja or something like, you know, do Baja 1000 and there's like Mexicans on the fucking, literally on the road and they're parting like the sea as you're doing 200 kilometers an hour past them. They reckon like the Group B rally guys, when Group B rally was fucking huge, like bigger than F1 or whatever it was, they reckon they used to pull people's fingers and stuff out of the windshield wipers and stuff because they'd be like, no finger.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I seen a video during the week and it was Colin McRae coming around the corner and he broke someone's leg. Like,
really?
And you could see like just committed, turn, and there's a spectator and they're running out of the way and he clipped someone's leg and apparently he broke his leg.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know? So yeah, it's cool that rally gets that many spectators, especially like in World Rally and stuff like that. Yeah. And Rally Tasmania looks like it's an awesome event. Like it looks like you get heaps of spectators there, do you?
Yeah, it was big. It was probably the best for spectators.
Yeah,
it was huge. So the guys did an unreal job.
Yeah.
So the Maguire boys, they live there.
Yeah,
they race the Maguire Motorsport. And they promoted it really well and put a lot of work into it. And it really.
I think that's one of the biggest problems with like a lot of off-road events, but even rally, like even the Rally Canberra or whatever is, you don't even know it's on.
No, exactly.
The promotion for these events just isn't there. You know, I mean, I think more people would definitely go if there was more advertisement. But I mean, it's all money, isn't it? Like
exactly,
you got to pay the money to get the advertisements.
I think that's why the Tassie one was so good because we got to Tassie like a few days before the rally, and there's billboards everywhere. Everywhere you look, there was signs of the rally. There was probably a couple thousand people. Spectating in one spot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what I found. Like speaking of spectators, you know, you guys know Race and Fink. They say they get like 15,000, 20,000 spectators, and I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. How many spectators you see on the track? Like when you're racing down the track? 5.
I was going to say not.
Like 5 spectators? Yeah. Like I don't see anyone. I mean, the first year I raced it when
first year there was heaps.
There was quite a lot.
Yeah.
But mostly because they were still on the track, you know what I mean? And I saw a lot, but not 20,000.
No.
And then the year before, I saw 3 maybe.
Yeah.
Like
there, yeah.
And you're like, there's no way there's 20,000 spectators there. Yeah. We rode it there on Venture Bikes this year. Oh, my God. It's like for 250 Ks, there is 3 camps deep spectators.
Yeah, right.
I'm not joking. It was out of control. Like I put the drone up. Just on sundown, and I've put it up like probably a K in the air, and it was just dark enough that I could see everyone start lighting their fires. And you, as far as you could see down the track, you could just see fires. Yeah. And then all night, like we didn't sleep hardly at all night because there was just like larrikins just on bikes doing burnouts. They're up in the sand dunes and they've got like pit bikes and they're doing pit bike races with dolphin torches on the front of the things, and it was out of control, and dudes drinking and music going, and I was like, oh, right, this is what it's actually like.
Yeah.
But when you're in the race, you don't see spectators because you like got tunnel vision looking at the track because you're waiting for a big bump or something like that, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I was really surprised at how many spectators they really do get.
Yeah.
Like
it'd be interesting. Like I've never obviously spectated up there, so it's like one of those things I sort of look at and go, it'd be a completely different thing to spectate, be there spectating, then be there actually competing. Like how it all it works, and like the people and camping and all that sort of stuff.
It was good. It was a lot less pressure, like last year. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then when you're out there racing, there's a lot of pressure.
For sure.
You're always thinking about what do I have the right amount of sprockets? Do I have this? Do I have that? Do I need a tire? Do I, even when you go into the pits on the the show and shine night, you're still thinking about, I want to get my bike out. Who's doing this? Who's done that? Oh, that's an interesting setup. All that sort of stuff. So it was a lot less pressure. This year.
I can
definitely
imagine.
It was good, but So all right, well, been good having you guys on.
Unreal. Thank you.
You guys want to do a shout out? Luff Toyota.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Luff Motors Yass, and then J&T Plant and Penrite.
Yep. Cool. Let's get it done.
And mum and dad.
And mum and dad. I'd like to thank mum and dad for sponsoring me.
Yeah.
All right. No worries. See you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.